If you watched our latest 2 shorts, you know that we got the Webasto fixed and we took the bus to Prevost to get the leans worked on again. This week, we'll share what caused the leans, show you a sweet new LG 3-in-1 microwave, and for nerds like me out there, I'll show you the workbook that I've been using for years to keep up with our fuel and night stays cost. I plan to add bus maintenance to that workbook, but that'll be for another time. We are on our way to Prevost because we had the leans on the other side this time, and we're picking up the bus. So, you want to tell them about what they found?
They found another leaky airbag on the right side this time. Last time it was a leaky airbag on the left side. And a leveling valve and one other thing. A drain valve or something.
Yeah.
All it means is more money.
That's our bean, isn't it? And I don't know how many of you guys do this. It'd be interesting to know. Put it in the comments. But we do have an account for the bus, and we transfer money to that account every month, so we're not totally shocked and not prepared. So we do have that account.
It's a bus maintenance account.
Yeah. So that helps a lot. And we really hadn't spent that much money on the bus this year, you said.
Not much.
So it hadn't been too bad.
Couldn't been over 60 or 70,000.
If it's that much, we're selling. He wants to get a boat, so yeah, if it were that much, we'd be on a boat right now. Maybe not. I don't want to do it.
Not a ski boat either.
No, this was, what did you call it? A coastal line boat, or
a trawler.
A trawler, I don't know. He's been watching YouTube videos on those.
I'm dangerous about that.
Yeah. And just so you'll know, Mark knows when he's watched all the YouTube videos there are, because he does that in one day, and then the next day there'll be some new ones, so he watches all of them again. So if you want to know anything that's on YouTube, he has watched every single YouTube video ever put out. That guy has. We're back into our little spot for a little while. Let's go by Jill and Grace to see how they're doing on their microwave project. We now have out the 21-year-old microwave. It was a Sharp carousel, and this is what it looks like. They're going to have to go buy a new, swanky, new, sweet microwave now.
Yeah. I killed it with a baked potato.
She killed it with a baked potato, Jill said.
Makes me sad.
Wow.
Will it open all the way up?
No, that's it.
That's about it as far as it'll open, but I wonder if it's hitting plastic. Oh, let me try, because we're cockeyed, so let's try putting the other one in, and maybe that'll help it
let's
square
try
it up.
and see. Here, you can put it right there. some reason, it's this door that's not letting it go up anymore.
Will that piece go under here at all?
Yeah, it should, but it looks more like it's.
Oh, it's tilted this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This piece will need to be routed out some.
This is scary.
Do that.
Router.
I broke my old microwave with
But
a
how's that
potato.
gonna work being laminate?
And now
I think it'll cut it. They'll just put a piece of tape across it, like that, and then they'll just come down there.
Who's A?
Marathon.
Here's the new microwave.
Sitting here and look over there.
I like this on the inside of the door. There it is.
The microwave.
Yay! It's an
It
LG
wasn't free on.
ThinQ.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it has all three. It has microwave, convection, and air fry.
I think I would really, really like this.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it kind of matches the other.
It does.
Yeah.
I like how it opens. And again, I love this. My favorite settings on mine at home is the potato.
Ice cream.
I love, where is it? The soften and melt. Those work great. And then where's the reheat, the plate one?
The plate, dinner plate, sensor reheat.
Yes,
Turn around there.
that works great too. I love it.
New microwave.
Don't kill this one with the baked
I
potato.
know. I don't know how do you cook a potato?
It dawned on me after I saw our recording of Mark and I talking about the bus maintenance account that you might be interested in seeing a little spreadsheet that I made. And I've been keeping up with this spreadsheet, I guess, about 4 years. And it's not perfect by any means, but I like it. I'm a little bit of a nerd on stuff like this. But anyway, let me show you a little bit about it. And if it's something that you think you might like or might even want to tweak for your own benefit, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel and put a comment in the comment area below, and we'll see if we can figure out how to share it with you. I'm squeezing this in here, but I forgot to mention what program I'm using and how I'm doing this. Sorry about that. I am using Microsoft 365 on the browser, and it's just a free program from Microsoft. It's Microsoft Office, Excel. I just made a free account and I use it using a browser. I don't download the software. I do have the program downloaded, but I just find it just as easy to do it up here in the cloud using a browser. So it is Microsoft 365. You can go there and make an account if you don't have one already. And then you will have Excel. It doesn't have quite as many bells and whistles as it does when you download the program, when you purchase it and download the program. But for what we're doing here, it's just fine. I've done it for 4 years doing it this way. So without further ado, let me show you what you're looking at here. First of all, there's 2 sheets where you enter your data after a trip. And the first one is right here where it says fuel entry sheet. And the other one, and you'll see I have it kind of a dark green. And this other one, which is a dark gold, this is your other entry sheet. And this is where you enter your information about your night stays. From these 2 sheets, I've designed pivot tables. Pivot tables are basically, well, let me just show you one. The next tab right here. Pivot tables take your raw data and creates tables or charts if you want to make a chart. You can also filter the information. For example, I have 2021, 22, 23, 24, and then the grand total of how much we spent on nightly trips during those years, and then the grand total. I also put it in a graph form. Over here, it's just a little bit of a different way of looking at the information, and it is by the trip. Now here, you'll notice that I just have up 2024. I can click on that little filter, and I can add other years. And just ignore the filter that said, the filter choice that says blank. You just want it, that's just where there's a blank line. So anyway, just play like that's not there. I tried to get rid of it and I couldn't. So you hit apply, and now I see all my trips from those 4 years, as well as the totals. Back over here, just giving you an overview. This is again where the entry sheet is to enter the information about the fuel. This is the pivot table that came from the entry sheet. And again, it filters it and it just organizes it a little bit better where you can see it at a glance. Here again is where you can look at different years or look at all your years, the grand totals as well as a graph. And this is fuel cost by the trip itself. And again, whenever you see this little drop down or a little filter, then that tells you that you can filter some information more or less than you have originally on your page. Going back to the entry table, this is what's key, because as they say, if it's garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So you need this information to be typed in perfectly. You'll see that at the very first row, I have a couple of blanks because I was designing this table and I didn't think about, recording our miles driven, and I couldn't remember where we drove from, so I just left it blank. But from that point forward, the first column is where I name the trip. Again, I do that instead of just putting all the locations, which you can do, but it's just kind of fun. I'll just think of a name. It's kind of like, oh, that was the Prevost Expo trip, or that was the coach drop-off trip, things like that. So these are the fuel receipts going on across. You'll also see in brackets where I have open roads or receipt. This is a reminder to me of where to find this information in this column. I'm either going to go to the Open Roads app. And by the way, if you don't know about Open Roads, the EFS card, you need to research that. I'll try to get Mark to talk about it a little bit. But basically, it's a fuel savings discount card. It's tied into your bank's checking account, and it's very safe. We did research about it before we filled out the application, but it has saved us a lot of money on fuel. Okay, going back here, let's see, miles driven. I think I skipped that. Oh, let me just start at the beginning. I'm sorry. Okay, I named the trip, and then the month of the trip, the year of the trip, the date of the fuel that we got the fuel, the location, miles driven from the last time that we got fuel. Again, this is the gallons purchased from Open Roads or the receipt that we got from the gas station. This, you'll see it says formula. That means, that just tells me, it just reminds me that this is a formula that I created. And you can see up here in the field where it gets that information about the formula. Now, just a little word to the wise. You see that I clicked on the cell and then I highlighted over here. If I click somewhere else in the chart, it's going to put that cell into the formula. It's going to mess it up. So if you ever do that, just hit your enter key and it won't mess with the formula. Okay, the next one going over is from the receipt, price per gallon. And again, this is either on the receipt or I can look at it in the Open Roads app. So that is what the actual price at the pump is. This column is the receipt pump price. Again, I can get it from the Open Roads app. It's recorded in there, or on the paper receipt. Now, this is what we actually paid for the gas. This is what was deducted out of our checking account from the Open Roads EFS card. So you can see if we didn't have that card, we would have paid $274, which was the pump price. But because of our discount, on this example, we paid $226. We saved $48.19. The reason why I put You Save from Open Roads app is because it's not just the difference between the paper price and what we paid, because there's a little bit of a charge, and they have that charge written in the Open Roads app, but they also have just really big You Saved, and they take into account the percent of the charge and things like that. But even with that charge that Open Roads or EFS charges, you still have a really good discount. So even without the even with the charge, we still save $48.19. And with that amount, this is how much we ended up paying per gallon instead of this right here. And then this is a formula. We ended up saving $48. I mean, wouldn't that be nice? 48 cents a gallon using our card. So yes, it's a lot of information, but it's just kind of interesting to look at. Does it change anything? Not really. It's just something to look at and say, hey, this EFS card is really helping us, and it lets us know how often we're getting gas and things like that. So I go over to the fuel cost by month. It takes all that information that I put in very carefully into the entry sheet, and it makes these this table and this graph. The next one over, again, this is fuel cost by trip, the percentage and the actual amount. And again, these are not perfect. I don't think there's any errors, but there may be. But generally, I've spot checked things, and it's come out to be a good formula. Nightly stays. Let's look at the entry sheet for that. Again, I name my trip, and what I name my trip here, I name it the same thing over here on the trip name. So they are the same. The month, the year, the date range, our arrival date and our departure date, where we stayed, the number of nights, total stay price. This is from the receipt or from the email. And again, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to do this, especially with the price per night, because as you know, sometimes they charge more for the weekend than they do during the week, or more for a holiday than when there's not a holiday, things like that. So it gets a little wonky, but it's a guide. And then I just have a little note column just so I'll remember things. Tolls, sometimes I put this, a lot of times I forget. That's our tolls that we've paid for, the toll system that we used, and just another note about the tolls, about where it was. So as you can see, I have a lot of entries here over the years. So it goes down, down, down. So instead of having to add all that up and do it all manually, boom, I've got this right here. And it will tell me basically what I want to know. Just generally, how much did we spend in 2021 on travel, in 2022, or not, you know, on night stays, and 2024, and so forth. So some years we spend a lot, sometimes we don't spend as much. And then the cost by trip, again, is there. So I just thought, again, that you might be interested in what I do on recording our information. And it's interesting. I know it might look like it takes a long time, and it really doesn't. But you do need to keep your information, your receipts for your fuel. And if you use EFS card, then your Open Roads helps as well. And your emails or your paper receipts from your night stays. So again, if it's something that you think you might want to play around with, then make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment in the comment area. And again, we'll see how I can get it sent to you, as far as just giving you a blank canvas with the formulas already programmed in there, and then you can enter your information. If you have any questions, let me know.